Hi, this video I will show you how to do the validation failure. Look, we choose validation, press. We also get this dialog. I give you one example. Copy this font name here. Press search. We got the validation failure. Double click. We see this is the validation failure interface. So before we do this, I need to let you know what the portfolio validation is. Basically, validation is one of the most important checking procedures before the portfolio file is stored into XOI. In this procedure, our system will calculate the holding value and compare it with the recently one, including total market value, net asset allocation, composition, and so on. From time to time, there are large changes in portfolio's market value or asset allocation, or country explosion. What do these large changes mean? Usually, each portfolio has its own style and always keeps the style until its manager changes the investment strategy. So, from month to month, there should be no dramatic changes for any portfolio, unless it is a newly opened or a going to be liquidated fund. Large changes from month to month means there may be wrong portfolios. So, validation process then is launched to help find out these wrong portfolios. So, these 5 parts we need to check the installed portfolio are correct or not. First one, we look at the market value. Here, we need to compare the long market value, short market value, and the net. Here, compared with the previous one, that is this number with this number. For this, first, we use the Portfolio QA tool. You will see this QA page can give us a useful understanding of the associated fund. We can see this a full comparison of all stored portfolio for the fund. The total market value, you see the change so small here. You also can see the asset allocation here. You see, they are all bonds. So, this is very important one. Then, we also to check the file for verify this value are correct or not. We also press storage, click overview. You see? We can check the imported files and those originally received from fund companies or DRM. Having a quick check of marked value could find out whether the file is incorrectly processed or it is originally incorrect while it is received. So here we can get the file which done by our analyst. So this is a process we always need to check. Then we also need to check the profile mapping. Check this map. Please look at the profile name and external identifier and external name. Having a check of external fund identifier or fund names helps to find out whether there are multiplied identifiers for one portfolio or one identifier for multiple portfolio. Then having a check of fund names also helps to find out whether there are multiple classes for one portfolio. So we see for this mapping they are correct. Then we see it is failed in total asset allocation. Basically, we check to ensure the asset allocation breakdown does not change excessively from one portfolio to next by comparing the most recent portfolio to the previous one. If they are 1 month apart or less, the portfolio will fall if the changes are more than 10 percentage points. You see, it is more than 10 percentage. It is just 1 month, so it is failed. For the market value, we also use the rules. We compared this one with the most recent one. If they are 1 month apart or less, the portfolio will fall if its market value has changed by more than 22%. You see, it's less than 20%, so the status is pass. For this part, we also use this side by side. You can see that the portfolio of this period. Here, a lot of historic portfolio. You can choose. This is the previous one. You see, most of them, the holding are U.S. Treasury or the bond holdings. So we see we can just judge that this one are correct. For the stock and bond country exposure, we check to ensure the stock and bond country exposure breakdowns does not change excessively from one portfolio to next one, or so by comparing the most recent portfolio to the previous one. If the current has country exposure and previous does not, and if max are above 10%, so they will be filled. So you see this one, it is filled. You can see from here that this one, there are a lot of US treasure. So the system automatically gives the country of list. But in this one, you also can see the country exposure here. Even it is filled, according to our experience, they are correct. You see number of holdings, the last period holdings, this period holdings. We compared these two figures to see they are correct a lot. Then bond statistics. Holding validation price check. Here we check, use price check. So we delete to see this one, this part. We just see these top 5 parts. So for this validation part, except use the rules to judge this, a lot of times we need to use our experience to make a judge. It is correct a lot. If you failed to give a judgment, we need to ask the local DRM or the fund company for a confirmation. So can approve this. So this is the validation part. If you have any questions, you can email me. I will send you the detailed information. Thanks.